Hyliion reports their third quarter 2020 financial report. Their first quarterly report as a publicly traded company. What is happening, investors? It is your boy Jack. I am not a financial advisor. I got the clothing line to prove that fact. And today, we're speaking about Hyliion. You guys probably know the drill with this company. We were up massively. We have done essentially nothing but crash down massively. And as of market open today, we are down pretty much 8%. So this is largely due to what a lot of people are going to perceive as a poor third quarter report from Hyliion. Now, there's a few things I think we need to keep in mind when we go through this report. Honestly, I think one of the most important things is right here in front of us. Our 2020 estimated total units sold was at 20. Revenue of $1 million. Even 2021, units sold is looking to be 300 with a revenue of $8 million. I don't think we can expect much for this quarterly report, in all honesty. And there's a few things that have happened, outside of the period of this report that should be kept in mind as well, but we will get into that. So guys, right before we get into the video, can I please ask you to hit that juicy like button, my friends? If you're new around here, please get to hit that lovely looking red subscribe button and join in the family of investors, baby. 52,000 plus and strong. And drop me a comment down below. What do you think of Hyliion? Are you still invested? Did you ever invest? Are you buying? Are you selling? Let me know down below. What is interesting is I've been watching these guys. I saw them. I believe we were down very close to 10% pre-market. We're making some sort of an upward movement, but I think today is going to be quite choppy in general. Worth noting, EV stocks are down in general today, except for the Chinese ones. NIO is having a good day, XPeng, etc. And let's also remember this, again, is their first earnings report after going public. And just remember the numbers they had set out for themselves in the investor presentation from the beginning. So for the 9 months that ended 30th of September, Hyliion did not report any revenue as the company is still in its pre-revenue phase, so we were aware of this. This shouldn't be a big surprise. They reported 11.8 million in operating expenses and 18.6 million in net loss during the 9-month period. Now let's keep in mind that October 1st, the strategic combination went through with the SPAC, yielding approximately $520 million in net proceeds to fund growth plans. So yes, we're obviously operating at a loss right now. That's to be expected. We are pre-revenue, but we have a very nice cash position. They installed 8 hybrid electric units in the third quarter of 2020 for 4 fleet-based customers. I actually think this is okay. I know, again, it's not the most in the whole world, but I think that's fine, and it could be a good sign for Q4. And they signed an agreement with FEV North America to accelerate commercialization of the Hypertruck ERX, something again that we're all aware of. So Thomas Healy had this to say: in the third quarter of 2020, we made progress toward commercialization of our hybrid and Hypertruck ERX solutions for the Class 8 truck market, while also establishing key partnerships. Very important. We are experiencing strong interest for our solutions and are utilizing our resources to develop a scaled infrastructure that will be able to support demand from this $800 billion market. Overall, I am pleased with the progress we have made as we remain on track to meet our product milestones in 2021. Let's keep in mind total units sold has been at 300, so that's what he's kind of hinting towards for next year, which obviously would be some really nice growth on this year. A lot of people just want to see more. They want to see more constantly, even though it's been laid out in front of us that not a lot is really going to happen until next year. And even at that, next year is not going to be the biggest either. It's really once we start getting to 2022, 2023 that we can expect, big deliveries, big sales. And also, guys, keep this in mind. We should note that Hyliion won its first major order after going public on the 15th of October. That's the thing with American Natural Gas, for 250 Hypertruck ERX vehicles. So now a little bit more from the report itself, okay? Executive commentary. With ample resources from our strategic combination, Hyliion is well capitalized and primed to disrupt the powertrain market, which I think is very, very true. We're in a great position as of right now despite those sales. Our focus in 2020 and 2021 will be to position the company for long-term sustainable growth. I mean, we all know this should be a long-term investment mainly, capturing the material market opportunity from the electrification of Class 8 vehicles. Along the way, our dynamic and proprietary solutions will help our commercial vehicle customers change the way they view performance, total cost of ownership, which is an absolutely massive one, data and sustainability. So honestly, not the biggest update in the world. Maybe that's why people are reacting somewhat negatively. They may not care too much about the sales, the revenue, the loss, etc. But we didn't get any decent news. There was no really nice updates. With that being said, the market is starting to move back up for Hyliion. We'll have to see how the day goes on. So keep in mind, guys, the last day for this quarterly report was September 30th. So it was pretty much the day or two after that they went public and got this extra money on the balance sheet. And it was also after this that they signed the agreement with FEV North America. So with that being said, Q4 could actually look quite considerably better than Q3. Now, there's no guarantee, but it more than likely will, especially from a balance sheet perspective. So loss from operations went up considerably from 2020 through to 2019, but I mean, that's to be expected. There's a lot more going on. Net loss went up absolutely massively as well, not far away from doubling. Now when it does come to the balance sheet, I think Q4 is going to look a whole lot better, but still, let's have a quick look. So this is as of September 30th. Please keep in mind this is before the merger happened, okay? Total assets were at 18.9. Total liabilities 55.36. So obviously not good, but that will look a whole lot better as of Q4. So I really do think the most important thing that needs to be taken away from this in particular is just that they said it made progress in Q3 towards commercialization of its hybrid and Hypertruck ERX solutions. That's really what we're looking for. That's why we are investing in Hyliion right now. I said this about Workhorse last quarterly report. We didn't invest in Hyliion for its Q3 2020 report at the end of the day, did we? I don't think anybody who did a small amount of DD would have done that. We're investing in these guys for what they could do in the future, for the impact they could have in 2 to 3 plus years down the line, for the growth and sales we could expect then, not now. And I do think if you want to be long on Hyliion, that's something you're going to have to remember. I think you're going to have quite strong hands. Things like this are going to be prone to happen for a considerable period of time. Now there was this that came out yesterday, some of you guys may be aware of. Hyliion earnings will send Hyliion stock to the moon and back. One thing that they said, if the conference call ends with nothing more than fluff and filler words, shares of Hyliion will go sub $15 in a day. I most certainly don't see that happening, I will put it that way, even though the large majority of it was fluff and filler. There wasn't the most major updates in the world. Here's something though that I don't necessarily agree with. The author of this says, I do expect Hyliion to go up after Thursday conference call. We will certainly see a slow beating or a fast sell-off in the following days. Why is that? Because many investors burn themselves with Hyliion and they are waiting for the opportunity to escape this company. Guys, just look at the chart. A lot of people already escaped this company. A lot of people already sold out their positions. The short-term investors, the swing traders, and the people who got scared. Or maybe the people who were too heavily invested. This didn't happen for no reason. This happened because people were selling their shares. I genuinely do think that a lot of people left in Hyliion are long-term investors. Now I know there are quite a few shorts in there still, but the people who are holding on to their shares, myself included, I think a lot of us are long term here. So I wouldn't really agree with that. The slow bleeding, who knows? I think if the market starts to go up in general, Hyliion is just about in a position to start going up. And I do think things will start getting considerably better for these guys as of Q4. And when we have seen a nice steady recovery, the market is only open 20 odd minutes as of recording this video. I waited pretty much so we could see how the price reacted. And if I show you the Hyliion stock chart and the level 2 data right here, okay, we can see some big candles. There is a lot of upwards and downwards movement. Look at these candles, guys. They are massive. There is a lot of indecisiveness going on right now. There's lots of buyers, lots of sellers. You can also see that over here. There's lots of buyers, lots of sellers at all kinds of levels. So I do believe there could be quite a bit of up and down. But as of right now, at current prices, the fact we're back up to these levels, I'm actually okay with how they've done. So next of all, what are the kind of price ranges that I am looking at? Well, in order to decide that, we have to go way back in Hyliion's history, okay? All the way back to around the end of July. So if we start off here, look, there is a very considerable period of consolidation here. A lot of sideways trading, we went up, and then another little period of consolidation before this breakout to the upside. Look at the bottoms of that period and look where we very recently just bottomed out, very close to, you know, $18 a share, right where that period of consolidation was. So this is now somewhat a line of support to me. This here is very interesting. It's a line of support, but it also happened right before a breakout and a gap to the upside. Now obviously that gap has been filled, I'm not worried about it or anything, but I think that this is somewhere we should be looking at for Hyliion as of right now. If we can get up to these levels, that would show bullish market sentiment to me. Now that is still considerably higher than where we are right now. We're at $22.70 and we want to be getting up towards $27. But I think anywhere in this range is pretty much free game as of right now. We know we haven't seen any really nice, you know, upwards movements for Hyliion in a long time. If we can even stay above $20, I think the odds of us getting back up towards 27 are quite high. But if we are to see that big dip, if we are to dip sub $20, I think the odds of us coming back down to the mid 18s is also very high and potentially even lower. Now this is short term, of course. This is over the next week, maybe 2 weeks. Long term, it's just a matter of actually getting some positive news, getting more updates in regards to decent sized orders, in my opinion. Long term, obviously, we want to be looking back up to here. We want to be looking back up to those all-time highs. But I mean, look, just as quick as we went up, we came down with Hyliion. And so the last time we traded in these ranges, it was going on, you know, pretty much for a month or so, a month and a half even. We entered back into this range the 19th of October, you know, so we're approaching that monthly mark now. Something big could potentially happen in the next week or two, in my personal opinion. But we're going to have to wait and see at the end of the day, aren't we? You can see today, Hyliion did make lows of 21.25. We're currently sitting at 22.76. I think the odds of us making a little bit more of a move to the upside downside is okay if we can keep this momentum. But anyway guys, that was just a quick update on Hyliion. I just wanted to briefly go through the Q3, let you guys know what I thought of it, and let you guys ultimately know why I don't think it's the most important report in the whole world. I do think Q4 will be considerably more important, but more so than that, next year in general. If you did watch this video all the way until the end, you, my friend, are a true legend, and I really do appreciate you being here from the bottom of my heart. Thank you so much. If you enjoyed the video, took some value, some entertainment, please consider hitting that juicy like button, my friends. And of course, drop me a comment down below, let me know what you think about Hyliion, and subscribe if you're new around here. Also, if you are interested, please hit that first link in the description, sign up to become a Patreon, you'll get full access to my private Discord group, you get my buy and sell alerts, access to over 40 chats. It's an awesome community. I mean guys, just look at what we have to offer. We have juicy memes. We have the best memes in the game. We got Bitcoin, food and drink stocks. One of our members has his own index. We have every kind of stock you could think about. Some politics in there. Stocks for me, SPACs, value, new tickers. All of these individual stocks, okay? We got Lordstown Motors, Workhorse, Hyliion, Tesla. We got everything, baby. We got everything you could think of. You want more chats? You get messages from me, and you get my buy and sell alerts. It is juicy. Join the community, baby. You ain't going to regret it. With that being said, my friends, I hope you all have an absolutely fantastic day. I will see you for another video very soon. Peace.